You say sorry, even when it wasn't your fault. Someone bumps into you. You apologize. A conversation gets awkward. You apologize. Someone is upset. And somehow, you feel responsible. It's almost automatic, like your mouth moves before your mind even catches up. And the strangest part? A part of you knows you didn't do anything wrong, so why does it feel like you did? Imagine this. You send a message to someone, they don't reply for hours, maybe even a day. When they finally respond, they seem distant, short, cold, and suddenly, your mind starts racing. Did I say something wrong? Was I too much? Should I apologize? So you type it out. Hey, sorry if I bothered you, even though you didn't. Pause for a second. Why did your brain go there? This isn't about politeness. This is about conditioning. At some point in your life, you learned that keeping people comfortable was more important than expressing yourself. Maybe growing up, you were around people whose moods changed quickly. You never knew when things would turn, so you adapted. You became careful. You became aware. You became responsible for emotions that were never yours to carry. And slowly, sorry became your shield, not because you were wrong, but because it kept things calm. Think about this. When someone around you is upset, do you immediately feel tense? Like it's your job to fix it, even if you had nothing to do with it? That feeling right there is where unnecessary apologies are born, because your brain learned something very early. If they are upset, I might not be safe, so you try to smooth it over. You shrink a little, you soften your voice, you apologize. Not for what you did, but for what you fear might happen. Here's another moment. You're explaining something. You have a point, but halfway through, you start doubting yourself. So you say, sorry, this might sound stupid, and just like that, you weaken your own voice before anyone else even can. Pause. Who taught you that your thoughts need permission? People who apologize too much are usually not weak. They are hyper-aware. They notice tone shifts, facial expressions, silences. They read between lines that don't even exist. Because once, that awareness protected them. It helped them avoid conflict, avoid rejection, avoid emotional distance. But now, it's exhausting, because you're constantly adjusting yourself for a world that isn't asking you to. And here's the deeper part most people don't talk about. Sometimes, you're not apologizing to others. You're apologizing for existing, for taking space, for having needs, for being seen. Let that sink in. Real life doesn't even need big moments for this to show up. You apologize when someone interrupts you. You apologize for asking a question. You apologize for saying no. Even rest starts to feel like something you need to justify. I'm sorry, I just needed a break. But why are you sorry for being human? Here's the twist. People who over-apologize often believe they're being kind. And they are. But kindness without boundaries turns into self-erasure. Because every unnecessary sorry quietly tells your mind, I am the problem, even when you're not. So what changes? Not overnight. But it starts with awareness. The next time you're about to say sorry, pause, just for a second. Ask yourself, did I actually do something wrong? Or am I just trying to keep the peace? That one question can slowly change everything. You don't have to stop being kind. You don't have to become cold. But you do have to start being fair to yourself, because your voice deserves to exist, without an apology attached to it. Your presence doesn't need justification. And your feelings, they were never a burden. So maybe next time, instead of saying, sorry for bothering you, you say, hey, I wanted to talk. And you let that be enough, because it is.